must be
You're pro hate speech. I'm a con guy. Or wait, yeah. I don't want to be protected either.
Con man is more like it.
Yeah. My name is James Battisti. I am a 45-year-old Marine, retired after 20 years. I do a podcast with Joe. Just a really good overall friend to have.
My name is Joe McGuire. I have been a media professional for the last 25 years. Jim is definitely, at this point in my life, one of my closest friends, yes.
The topic we are going to debate is whether or not hate speech should be protected.
I think if you had a constitution that was updated like Thomas Jefferson had suggested when he wrote it, you could put laws into place, I think, to better protect people.
There's no such thing as hate speech. It's a made-up phrase for one party to shut down conversation with another person or another group of people.
There's certain words that we've steered away from as a society for the better. I mean, I think the N-word is probably a great example of this. There are people who think that they should be able to say that word. That word doesn't incite anything but anger and hostility.
If I walk up to a person and I say, "What's up, N-word?" Am I being a racist? Or if I walk up to a person and I say, "You're a friggin' N-word," there's a huge difference in the intent there. As a minority myself, I've been subject to racial slurs, racial attacks. Taking that and being hurt by that is giving somebody else the power to control my emotions. And why would I ever do that? Why would anybody ever allow themselves to be controlled by somebody else's words? That's just complete weakness to me.
I definitely understand Jim's perspective on hate speech. Free speech is the most important thing in the world.
I just feel like Joe and other people, they take freedom of speech for granted. When you take freedom of speech for granted, you're gonna lose it.
While I don't expect him to change his opinion on things, all I would want for our relationship is for him to be open to hearing the things that I'm telling him.
My viewpoints are concrete. Interesting.
I love that.
Joe actually believes that there should be laws against hate speech, and there should be words that should and should not be used to protect certain people's feelings. And I use feelings in air quotes, just to let everybody know.
That's somewhat accurate, yeah. I mean, within reason. And I will summarize James's whole stance on this with a childhood rhyme. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Jim doesn't believe that there should be any restrictions on free speech and that people should feel free to speak their minds.
Yeah, that's good. I think that one of the points would be that every person should be respected, right? Every person's feelings should be respected. And we need a classification or a set standard of what it can be protected and what cannot be protected.
That's good. Another point that Jim would make, you being offended by something is not anybody's problem, and saying that you're offended isn't an opinion even. It's more or less just whining.
I actually agree with that, and I don't know what else to say after that. I can't do it, and I'll try, I will.
Yes, you can.
I think that, dignity, people's dignity, and needs to be protected. And the way that other people view other people needs to be regulated.
He's getting there. He's getting closer.
I have no idea, because I don't believe in that at all.
Let me bounce this one off you, see if you like it. Unless you're a weakling, you should be able to just brush off my hate speech and go about being happy.
100%.
Yeah. Also, why is the government making laws about classes that are protected in the Constitution? Isn't that basically what the First Amendment is? That the government shall make no law in regards to that particular subject?
So he's taking my points again, and I can't argue them. I don't know how to argue my point. Those are my point. I can't argue my own points, for God's sake, because they're right. They're true. I honestly don't know else how to advocate for a law against hate speech. I honestly don't. I mean, I know the talking points, I do, but I just can't. It makes me want to vomit, to be honest with you, to even talk about them. Like, I just can't do it. It's so repulsive to me that we're gonna freaking take people's consideration, their feelings into consideration. Well, when does it freaking stop?
I don't take anything that Jim says personally. I have a great deal of trust for this guy, despite all of his crazy thoughts and hard right opinions.
This experience has made me think a lot more about his perspective and where he's coming from, vice just what I think and where I'm coming from. So it actually helped me open my eyes a little bit. It made me want to feel a little bit more. How about that? It made me want to care about your feelings a little bit more, even though it doesn't change my perspective whatsoever.
I think going forward, I want to make sure that when he and I have a conversation on something that we disagree on, that he definitely understands what I'm saying and what I do believe and what I don't believe, and that some of it's not just, well, liberals think this, so you think that.
The experience I wanted to take away from this really is for Joe and I to be an example of how we can argue something so hot button, so controversial, so splitting, and still just be cool, and still be friends, and still hang out, and have our kids hang out. Despite all of his asinine views on politics, you're a good guy, Joe.
I appreciate that very much. At the end of the day, he's a good human being, and I love human beings that are good.